How hard is it to make a good 10 minutes?
I mean, it's okay. Well, I've been thinking about that a lot, and okay, there are like because it is so hard because one you have to come up with like an idea that people connect to so
Right.
that you don't have to spend
Yeah.
a long time explaining everything. You can you can quickly get into and everybody can follow you. Like I learned that from working at the Blackout Diaries.
Oh,
A
wow.
lot of it was like it was
Shout
true
out to the Blackout
drinking
Diaries.
stories.
Yeah.
I would watch the people, and drunk stories are great if you've been to the place where that story took place. Otherwise, you
Right.
cannot follow what happened. It's like somebody describing a nightmare where it's just there's no
Yeah,
place.
Yeah.
So it like whenever I would do my stories, I would put up a map so that people could follow where I am in space, and that helps a lot. So if you're just on stage with no map, you gotta find a way to be like, we've all had sex, and then everybody can just fill in that stuff.
Right.
So finding those things, and then also being funny is kind of being dark, and you got to give it the right energy, or it gets scary. Like, there was a really good friend. They used to do this joke about how she gave a blowjob, which is everybody's done, but she gave that blowjob in a graveyard at night, and that story can be either super funny or really alarming for the audience. So if she is not having a great time and laughing, if she's just a little bit tired or maybe like a little bit sick, when she says, "That time that pedicab guy I gave him a spooky blowjob in the graveyard," everybody's like, "Do you need help? Like, do you need to get out of this situation?" But otherwise, everybody's like, "The spooky blowjob is the funniest thing." So it's so hard because it's not just the material; it's also giving it in that moment. You got to fucking match that audience, and you can't be too over energetic. Yeah, it's hard.
You can't be too over energetic, or what?
I mean, it can like. I feel like you can jump on, you can sell it too much, and that also pushes people back. You gotta like. It sounds creepy. You gotta,
it's also
you gotta pull them in. You gotta come in.
It's true.
Tell you a joke. But
and then as you're ascending through the ranks in comedy, like on the open mic scene, and you get allocated more time, because it was like, for example, I remember my friends, and this is a question that I do want to put to you, Derek, is like, what made you get up? What made you do it in the first place? So like when my friends were like, "Oh yeah, you should try it," and then I did. When they would come to see, they would be like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you to be like that," because they found me funny when I was angry, and then on stage they're going like, "Oh, you weren't angry, you're actually quite smiley, and you seemed like quite amiable. What happened?" And it was just like, well, because you get 5 minutes and no one's ever heard of you. Anger, you find me funny when I'm angry because you know me.
Exactly.
You know the premise, you know who I am. So you know that, this is what Ben does. I have 5 minutes to explain to the audience what I'm angry about, why I'm angry about it, why you should be angry about it too, and then I tell the story. And I've got to, first of all, I've got to hope that you are angry about it too. Like if I'm getting really angry about, like in the previous episode, about how Megan Thee Stallion just abuses Shakespearean English, someone needs to also, if they don't give a shit about grammar, they're not on my level at all. But I wanted to ask you, what because it's always a fascinating question for comics. What made you get up? What made you do it in the first place?
I had a fight with my girlfriend at the time, and my friend was like, "Hey, since you're not doing anything tonight because you guys are fighting, you want to come to a comedy show?" And I was like, "Of course, yes. That's everything I wanted to do." And I went, and I was like, "I think I could do that." Like, I just paid $25 to watch that, and I was like, I bet I would do things differently. And so I dropped out of school the next day and sold my books to get my money back. And I went up to an open mic.
Is this the University of Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left. Dropped out of OU, and then I went to open mic. Here's the thing about ADD, Ben. When you were getting ready to go to your first one, did you like write material to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a great idea. That would have been a great idea. I got all the steps except for writing any material whatsoever. Dropped out of school. I'm there on time, signed up, going first. Hadn't written anything down.
Oh, terrible.
And I did the worst 6 minutes of comedy I think anybody has ever done. I danced. I just told a long story. I blew the light by 2.5 minutes.
For anyone who doesn't know, yeah,
they're waving at me, but I was looking down because I didn't touch the microphone. And the guy before me, the host, was like 5 inches shorter, so I was looking down like this, and then my arms started shaking and my legs started shaking. So I'm just shaking, telling a story that nobody is understanding. And then the MC had to come on stage, like clapping really loud, and he was like, "Hey, everybody, give it up for Derek!" He grabs the microphone and goes, "Get the fuck off the stage now."